Hello lovelies! Today I would like to chat about why I think dinner tends to be the most difficult meal of the day. So in this video I want to go over 8 points that I believe are why people tend to have the hardest time at dinner. They have no problem having a nice big smoothie for breakfast with lots of fruit and then having a little salad for lunch, but then when it comes time for dinner, it gets a little bit more difficult. Number 1, you haven't eaten enough or you've skipped meals. This will cause cravings and this will make you hungry when you get home from work. Your body is simply wanting fuel, and if you haven't eaten enough food for breakfast and lunch and for snacks, then dinner is going to be incredibly difficult because you're going to just want to eat anything because you haven't fueled up during the day. The tip to fix this is to make sure you eat a huge fruit breakfast. Eat a lot of fruit first thing in the morning. I always do about 600 to 800 calories first thing in the morning so I get the majority done for the day. This sustains me for a couple hours, and then I will snack on fruit, bananas, grapes, berries, whatever's on hand. Make sure you take that and make sure you fill up your gas tank because it really helps to keep your fuel sustained throughout the day and to ward off any cravings that you might have. Have for lunch a bigger salad than you would be typically used to. Most people think like a little salad is a meal because we're so used to going to a restaurant and ordering a salad as an entree, and it's not very big. We think it's big, but it actually isn't that big because we need to be consuming a lot of calories to fuel ourselves. So when you're doing a salad, I want you to double or triple it or quadruple it. I want you to eat a lot more than what you think you need for lunch. And if you only have an hour, maybe do a smoothie instead, add your greens to your smoothie, but I want you to eat a lot of calories at lunch and then have more snacks, maybe in the car on the way home. Fuel up. That's the whole point to this number 1, is to make sure that you eat, because by the time you get home, if you've skipped lunch or you've skipped breakfast and you've only had like 400 or maybe 600 calories for the whole day, you're living on coffee and you're living on adrenaline, when you get home, all you want is pizza and you can't really think straight and think, oh, maybe I should have a raw salad, or I forgot that I'm vegan, so I'm not gonna have this chicken. You don't really think rationally when you're craving because your body just wants fuel. It's gonna look for anything to eat. And if you keep yourself full, and I always say this, if you keep yourself full, it's better than willpower. So make sure that you eat. The second reason why it's difficult at dinner time is because you've consumed too much fat the night before or during the day. If you're consuming higher fat, it's going to block your insulin from being able to get the sugar into your cells. Now, I have videos about this. If you want, you can click on the links in the description below or on the video and find those videos where I talk about the problem that fat plays in insulin resistance and sugar crashes. So it's not all the fruit that you're eating. Fruit's going away for a murder that it never committed. Fruit is being accused of all of these things when it's actually fat's fault, and fat's getting away with murder, really. So we need to stop blaming fruit and start watching our fat intake. Yes, we need fat, and I say it over and over and over again that I'm not anti-fat, I'm anti-too much fat. We're eating way too much fat, even if it's healthy fat. We don't need it. We need fruit, we need carbs. That's our number 1 fuel source, and we only need fat to create hormones and cell walls and some other stuff, but we don't really actually need fat, and we don't need it as a fuel source. I was reading, I think it was Dr. Garth Davis was talking about this on his Facebook page, where they've actually tagged fat with radioactive material that they can see through scans. And when people consume this fat that is tagged with the radioactive, it is immediately stored as fat, like it's not used as energy. So we need to lower our fat intake and keep your fat with your greens at dinner time. If you really need that comforting fatty kind of a meal, again, don't go overboard, obviously. Use a couple nuts and seeds and a little bit of a dip. No oils. We want to get rid of the oils. I consider them a processed food, so you want to eliminate those as well. Take out all the animal products, because if you're eating high fat the night before or during the day, it's going to clog up your bloodstream, and your insulin just can't get sugar into your cells. So it's similar to not eating or skipping meals, because your body is just not getting that sugar that it needs. It's not getting that energy. So when you get home, you just want to eat anything because your body's not getting that fuel because of the high fat. So you want to lower your fat, and it'll help. It kind of takes a couple days for the fat to dissipate out of your bloodstream, but once it does, you can add and increase your fruit and eat more calories and sustain yourself better and have more energy on a lower fat diet than you would on a higher fat, even if it's healthy fats. The third reason, obviously, if you've had a stressful day, you're just gonna feel like you need a reward and just lay on the couch and chill. You don't want to be doing this, because when you're stressed out, you should be taking extremely good care of your body. When you're sick, you'll do anything to get better or to feel better. You'll go buy meds, you'll take the day off work, you'll rest, you'll take care of yourself, and you will focus on that. When we're stressed out, we don't tend to do that. We tend to fall over to numbing agents like food, drugs, alcohol to deal with the stress. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be finding a way to deal with the stress. So if it's your job or a relationship or something, try to figure out how to deal with it and increase lines of communication. But if you can't deal with that and you're just kind of at home and there's nothing really that you can do about it, find ways to de-stress yourself. Go meditate, go do some yoga, go for a workout, do something that will lower your stress. If you have to have a nap, go for it. If you can't do any of those things, maybe dance in the kitchen while you're chopping your vegetables. You can meditate while you're chopping your vegetables, and really treat yourself with respect. This is going to help you through the stress a lot better than eating a bag of chips or throwing a pizza in the oven. The stress is there and it's always going to be there. It's your choices on how you deal with the stress that are going to either heal you or keep you where you are, or sadly make things worse. The fourth reason, you're unfulfilled, you're bored, or socially people want you to go out for dinner or whatever. If you're unfulfilled and you're eating because you're bored or just because it's there and you want it, you need to find inside yourself why you are filling that void with food. So thinking, you know, just have a fruit dinner or have a nice salad for dinner, and then go and create something. Play some music, draw, paint, crochet, or sew. Do something that will fulfill you. If that's going for a long walk or hitting the gym and lifting heavy weights, going snowboarding, anything that you can do that's a physical activity or a creative activity, get out there and do it. Because if you're not feeling fulfilled, you're gonna wanna sit on the couch and just eat, because you're not fulfilled. You're not doing things that make you feel like, in a way, like life is worth it. So we tend to just sit and watch Netflix, and that's not really life. I mean, yeah, it's great to enjoy a couple episodes of a nice show every once in a while, and I do that as well, but I don't want to live my life like that. I want to create. That's why I love to make the recipe books and share videos with you. It's a passion of mine, and that fulfills me enough so that I just really don't need to sit on the couch and eat a bag of potato chips like I did before, because I wasn't fulfilled before. And you need to find out what that is that you're filling with food. And if it's social, just know that you are making the best choice for you when you're out. You don't need to please your friends. You don't need to do it for your grandma because she feels you need it. Do this for you. Make the choice for you. And again, if you're gonna go out for dinner or going to a family event, stand in the bathroom before dinner, do some power poses and say, I'm a raw vegan, I'm a vegan, this is what I want, these are my goals, and really stand strong so that you can stand in your beliefs and say no. Because no is a shield to protect you against those foods that you don't want to be eating anymore. No is a good word, and you should be using it more often. Next reason, it's easy and convenient to throw something in the oven. It's easy and convenient to make those cheap $1 noodle cups for soup. It's cheap and easy to order a pizza, but these are not going to help you in your future goals of health by continually doing this. You need to find recipes that you can get really good at making and that can be made quite quickly. I mean, you can still order raw vegan salads. You just have to, you know, make them raw vegan. You just have to request it. But I recommend learning how to make certain meals very quickly. Learn how to prepare your day so that you have these meals ready to go for dinner. An example would be my chili. If I feel like I'm going to have a really big day full of coaching and photo shoots and editing and videos and everything, and I don't feel like I'm going to have a lot of energy or desire to make this big salad for dinner, I will do everything first thing in the morning. As soon as I get up, I'll get up a little bit earlier, chop everything, marinate it in some herbs and spices, soak my cashews for my sour cream, all in the morning, first thing. So as soon as dinner comes around, all I have to do is blend my cashew sour cream, which takes 30 seconds, and blend the sauce, which also takes maybe a minute or two because it has to warm up. But that is super easy for dinner time. So if I know I'm gonna have a really stressful day, or not really stressful because I love my job, but if I'm gonna have a really heavy day and I feel like I'm just gonna wanna do something quick or easy, then that to me is quick and easy, but I prepared before. So you wanna find those meals and get good at them and make them often so you can do those during those days when you need something quick and convenient. Another reason people give me that it's really difficult at dinner time is because they cook for their family or there's people in their house that eat differently. Now, if you have to cook for somebody else, I highly recommend that you have like a bowl of cherry tomatoes or some fruit or something, or even have your meal ready first and eat that while you're making their food. It really helps because you kind of want to just be eating, like, you know, you grab some of their dish and eat it and taste it. But if you have your own stuff to eat, I like to snack on cherry tomatoes. It really helps when I am cooking for somebody else to just snack on something, and it keeps my mouth busy, it keeps my mind busy, and it's raw vegan, so I win in all areas. If you're making things for other people, if you have food in your pantry or in your fridge that you don't want to be eating anymore, put tape with their name on it and designate it as their food and don't touch it. Pretend you're at work and this is a work fridge and you're not going to eat your coworkers' lunches, so why would you eat your family's food? You have to kind of play with the mindset there, but always, always eat some raw vegan foods while you're cooking to help with those cravings. Next one, it's routine. You come home from work, you throw something in the oven, you sit down and you start watching TV. It's routine, traditions, cultural dishes, all of that, it's all tradition because we've been doing it the same forever and we are creatures of habit, so it just happens. We sometimes don't really realize it. If you're doing, you know, you're like, I want to be a raw vegan, you come home from work and sometimes it's subconscious and you just throw pasta on the oven because you've done it every night for the last how long. We have to change to find change. If you want to change, you got to change your routine. You got to get out of that. So when you come home, maybe first thing you do is chop your salad instead of throwing pasta on the stove. Maybe what you need to do is throw all your ingredients into the Vitamix. Don't blend it right away, but then you can go and do what you need to do, you know, maybe you have to clean some stuff up or change out of your work clothes or whatever. But do these things, break the routine, start something different that involves the raw food. Don't turn on the TV right away. Maybe eat at the dining room table instead of at the TV and save the TV for later in the evening. You need to start to change your routines, and the only person who can do that is you. You gotta do it every day, and consistency is so important in this step. And the last and final reason why I believe it's difficult for dinner time is people don't plan. This, I already talked about it, is planning with the chilies, doing it before and then having it ready after. But planning your day every single morning as soon as you wake up, take 5 minutes and just think in your head what you want to have for breakfast, what you want to have for lunch, and then what you plan to have for dinner. If you want to have my mushroom marinara on zoodles but you don't have any zucchini, maybe take note of that and then stop off on the way home from work to grab some zucchinis. Or if you are on your way to work and you planned on having a certain thing for lunch, maybe pick up something on the way to work as well. You want to make sure that you plan your day, because if you don't plan your day, you're just going to wing it when you get home, and winging it typically is throwing something in the oven or throwing something on the stove that's really just quick and easy. And if you want to break that cycle, you have to start planning, and it really doesn't take a lot of time. It just takes 5 minutes in the morning to plan what you want to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Think about it. Think about the foods you have on hand. Think about the foods you might need to pick up, and plan your day. 30 seconds and you've got it done. If you need to prepare a little bit first thing in the morning, do that. If you need to prepare at lunchtime, do that. It doesn't really matter how you have your day set up, as long as you have a good rough idea of what you plan on eating for the day. So I hope this helped somebody out there. If you liked the video, please click like and subscribe to my channel to get notifications for more. You can find me on Facebook, Lissa's Raw Food Romance, on Instagram at Raw Food Romance, and on Snapchat, I am Lissa Raw Vegan. If you're looking for recipes for dinner, I have my newest book. It's called Dips and Dressings. So you can make, there's 117 recipes in there, so you can make dips and dressings for your salads at night, and a lot of them are very, very, very simple to make with very common ingredients. So you can make those really quick and easy for dinner if you are having problems finding some recipes. I also have a 30-day meal plan and winter recipes if you're having issues with dinner during the winter time in the colder months. So you can head on to the link right here and grab an ebook copy. You can also find print versions of my recipe books on Amazon. Just search Melissa Raimondi as the author, and my books should come up for you to purchase if so desired. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next one, I love you all, and fruit on.